I believe you can look at social platforms for whatever universities you are planning to go to. There'll be a lot of people who will be on that same page. You can talk to them, chat with them. If you're from the same city, you can meet them. And for housing aspects, I think the best way to go forward with it is to talk to your seniors, because they have looked into different aspects, different locations, whatever is cheaper, more convenient, and that would be a great resource for you to start for looking for housing. To be very honest, you cannot really negotiate a lot on the lease agreement because it is pretty solid and the landlord or landlady won't really budge a lot. Some people are very strict about, even if you have a single nail in the wall, they'll charge you for it. There's something wrong with the garbage disposal, they charge you for it. So you probably want to know more about that. You want to really talk to your landlord about subleasing as well, because there might be a case that you would be moving for your internship or you found a better housing, so you want to know a bit about that as well. I have a complete room to myself and all the expenses sum up to something $600 or $650. But if you're living in a bigger city such as New York or Boston, San Francisco, that would rise up pretty much. So if you are in a college town, transportation is pretty easy. All of the buses can just accept your college ID and that's it. It's just included in your fee structure. The transition was a bit difficult. The academic system and so many different cultural shock that is different from India to the US. I feel it will only take you some time to get used to this, but it's not that bad. I would advise all of you who are coming to the Midwest in the spring semester at least to be charged up with all the clothing that you can get. If you are planning to buy winter jackets, I think it is better to buy it from the US than India, because since there is not a lot of cold in India and not a lot of winds, you won't get the right material out there. So it is better to buy it from here, but keep yourself layered. Biggest advantage, or the rather change I feel out here at Kelly, is that the professors are highly approachable. You can simply send them a meeting invite on Outlook saying, "Hey professor, I really like your class on cloud computing, but I did not understand this aspect. Can I just visit you in your office hours and we can talk about it?" They are super flexible in that manner. They would love to help you. And not only academically, but also if you require some career advice, you can meet up with them. They'll try their best to get you in contact with their resources, the students they have taught in the past. So that is a great change I felt out here. And also the fact that the exams in Mumbai University, I am pretty much used to writing like pages and pages of answers, but out here it's pretty much condensed. They want to know if you know the concept. They would also give you a bit of direction on how to manage your finances, open a bank account. If you want to work part-time, you can get your SSN, which is highly necessary. So that is what they usually talk about in the orientation. And talking about boot camp, so Kelly, I don't know if other universities do that, but Kelly has this 2-month of boot camp program before the core semester starts, so that people can get a bit of knowledge about business and tech before they move into MIS, which is like a combination of business and tech. So since all of us who came from India were from an engineering background, none of us had any idea about, say, finance or accounting, etc. We had classes on them so that we could get a bit, we could widen our horizon and know more about that. We can do it both way if you want to, from India or from the US, but I would highly recommend to get it done from the US, because it's a good point to have it from here, because you could just walk into any hospital or any nursing home and just get things done. The insurance would be taken care of. The complete batch strength was about 128 or 130 students, in that range. And the number of Indians that flew from the US was only 24. So that was a pretty small number. And if I were to count for Asians, I don't have a fixed number in my head, but I would range it in, say, 45-ish figure, 45, 50 maybe. I would say the domestic students necessarily don't have work experience. Among them, there were hardly 5 or 6 people who had any work experience whatsoever. But talking about Indians, among the 24 that we did come from India, only 5 of us were freshers. All of the others either had 1 year or 2 years or 3 years of experience. I did have some time in the second semester and this past semester that I am in to either hit the gym, or I love playing table tennis, so I do that. Apart from that, there are so many different student bodies all over the university. I was involved in Women in Technology, which is a pretty cool platform for all the women who want to know about technology or are working in technology all over Indiana University to get together, talk about different things they're working on, different technologies they are exposed to. And there are different student bodies all over the university about sports, technology, maybe music, all of that. So if you do want to get involved, I would highly recommend you to do that rather than investing your time somewhere else if you have it.